started. Hope you all are doing well. All right, so not really gonna have any review from last week. I think you all are pretty familiar with that content, just kind of asking about being hungry and thirsty.
Okay, I gotta go in there and fix it then.
But
My phone is off.
we're going to continue the topic of, hungry and thirsty by talking this time more about eating and drinking a little bit, and also introducing some food and beverages. And based on who I see who is in this Zoom today, I think this is going to be a lot of stuff that is just going to be review, I think, for most of you or all of you, but still, I think that's still good and important to continue to get that practice, right? Practice speaking and hearing and whatnot. So the question I will be asking in this class is Hagaka blank tuka. Hagaka blank tuka. So I think you guys, again, are familiar with a lot of what these words are. Hagaka blank tuka. So haga, you guys recall, means who. This is the subject form who when you're asking a question. Haga. Haga. And tuka. Tuka is a word for eat. I think every Numu knows that word. It's part of our identity. For us from the Walker River area, we're the Agai Dukade. Dukade comes from this word, Duka, to eat. Or I know we have some Kuyui Dukade here, Kuyui eaters. That is that word, Duka, to eat. And that word, ka, I know we've gone over this in a previous class as well. It is kind of more like on a linguistic level. It's what's known as a direct object marker, okay? In other words, it marks the object of the sentence. It tells you who the object of the sentence. It comes before the object of the sentence. And remember, the direct object of sentences is the thing that's being affected or impacted by the verb, by the verbal action of the sentence. So in this case, the verb or the verbal action is tuka, right? It's to eat. So the direct object of eating is whatever is being eaten. It is what is being consumed. And so altogether, this question, haraka blank tuka, is who is eating the blank? Who is eating the blank? Haraka blank tuka. So, for example, you might fill in this blank with the word for eggs. Eggs is noho. Noho. Haraka noho tuka. Haraka noho tuka means who is eating the eggs. Haraka noho tuka. Who is eating the eggs? Noho, word for eggs. And in response, you guys, your answer will, again, be something I think you guys are already familiar with. Su blank, ka blank, tuka, which means the blank, maybe the man or the woman, the girl, the boy, ka blank, tuka, the whatever is eating. So again, like for example, using that same example of eggs, this is a possible answer right here. Sunanaka no hodika. Sunanaka no hodika. Meaning the man is eating the eggs. The man is eating the eggs. I know there are, I think the majority of you are already familiar with certain suffixes that you can attach onto verbs, like that. I don't have it like on the screen here. I don't have it on the written out, but I know you guys are familiar with like that suffix wun. Like if you say tukawun, meaning eating. But when you hear Numa speakers, oftentimes they just use that simple, plain verbal root. Like in this case, duka, that is sufficient to mean eating. Like you don't necessarily have to add that suffix wane. Duka is perfectly fine on its own to mean eating. I mean, it could also just be simply translated, the man eats the eggs. Sunanaka no horika, the man eats the eggs. That is 100% a valid translation. But again, it can also just mean the man is eating the eggs. Sunanaka no horika. So that's your first vocabulary word for food is noho, eggs. Now, again, you guys are familiar. I'm going to have two different people on the screen, and I'm going to ask you guys that question. Who is eating the, and I'll choose one of these different food items. So we already know on the left, we have noho, right? Eggs. What is this on the right? Well, there's this word in Myanmar, which is nohopi. Nohopi. I gotta be honest, I do not know what this looks like, what it actually looks like. Maybe, I don't know, Elaine or Maxine, maybe, or others out there might know. Nohopi refers to this Numa baked bread. It is a baked bread. So noho, I know I just said how noho means eggs, but as a verb, noho means to bake, And nohopi, when you add that suffix pi, it just refers to this baked bread. There is also a longer term that can be used for this type of bread, which is gusinohopi. Gusinohopi. I don't have it typed on there for you. Gusinohopi. That refers to baked bread that's cooked underneath like ashes. Underneath the ashes or underneath the ground. You can cook it underground and pile it with a bunch of ashes and these coals, like to make fire. Gusinohopi. So again, I admit, I don't know what it actually looks like. So I just found this kind of image, some kind of flatbread, but just for the purposes of this class, that's what this image refers to, nohopi, nohopi. That again means baked bread, a type of traditional Numa baked bread nohopi, all right? So I'm gonna start asking you all the questions and you get to respond. Let me know. You all ready or you got any questions? All right, so I'm gonna keep this same image here. So Chrissy, number 1, I say, haga kanohodka.
Sunanako no hodeka.
Bija, good. Sunanaka nohodka. The man is eating the eggs. Next is haga kanohopidka.
Sumagotni ka no hopidaka.
Bija. Sumohotni kanohopidka. The woman is eating the baked bread. Bija. All right. Next, I got Elaine. Elaine, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Haraka no hodika.
Sunatsika Nohotika. No. Was that right? What did you ask again? Ask it again.
I asked you, you understood. I asked you haraka no hodika. Haraka no hodika.
Oh. Suwaitika Nohotika.
Za'a. Noho, remember, is the eggs. Noho. Sounds similar.
Oh, okay. Su tua'a ka nohotika.
Kanohodika sutsuza'a.
Was that right?
Yes, yes, ja.
Tua.
And then the other one was Hagaka no hopi deka.
Nohopi. Sunana ka nohopitika.
Ja. Sunana, the man eats the bread, or Suwaitsi kanohopi deka, the old man. Either one of them obviously is the correct answer. All right. So again, those ones sound familiar, those two words, so it's kind of tricky. Noho is the eggs. Nohopi is the baked bread. All right. Another word to learn is papi. Papi. Now, I tried to find the best image I could to represent this dish. Papi is the pine nut mush, pine nut pudding, pine nut type of a meal. Like I assume many of you are familiar with it. It's when you grind up all of the pine nuts, you grind it into a fine powder, and then you kind of just continue adding liquid to it until it kind of produces this smoothie type of a pudding mush type of a thing, papi. And so again, try to find the best image I could represent for that, and this is what I found. Papi, papi. Notice that double A indicating it's a lengthened ah sound. Papi, papi, papi. All right, so next I got on here, Mac, are you there?
Dạ, nè,
All right then. Haga ka no hopi de ka.
sinana na hopi được cả.
Ja, togi, shi haga ka papi de ka.
Kanazi or sanazi ka papi được cả.
Ja, good job. So sunatsi ka papi de ka. The boy is eating the pine nut mush. And sunanaka no hopi de ka. The man is eating the baked bread. Bija, bija. All right. Maxine is next. Maxine.
Aha.
All right. Haraka papi de ka.
Magoti. Papi Takan.
Sumoro ni ka papi de ka. Or you could also say su piawabi for an old woman. Or the other word was debidzotni. Su debidzotni for the old woman. Either one of those is fine. Good job. Yeshi haraka no ho de ka.
Magoti. Kana Hotuka.
Ja, kamoro ni ka no ho de ka. The woman eats the bread. Or excuse me, the eggs. She is ambiguous. I guess she could kind of maybe even be a young woman. So suadum could also be a possible answer. Su suadum kanohodka, the young woman is eating the eggs. Bija, good job. All right. Next I got Monica. Are you there, Monica?
Here. I'm here.
Right.
Hello?
Haraka no hopi de ka.
Let's see. The anti-try here. Let's see. Sumagoni ka na hopi deka.
Ja, hopi de ka. Ishihara.
Misho Uni?
Haraka papi de ka.
Is that a baby?
Yeah, that.
Su. Is it baby? Ongawi. That's salt.
This is song.
Just take off.
Uh,
Just take off the B, and you got baby.
Onga. Onga. Oh no, that's correct. Yaga. Onga. Su yo onga ka papi tuka.
Ja. So onga kabab. Yeah.
All
Onga.
right.
Ah.
I was listening in from in the back room, so I'll study it.
You got it. The other way of pronouncing baby was oha'a. Oha'a. So either onga'a is the way to onga'a, sounding like the word for salt, or oha'a. Both
Okay.
baby. All right. Next is another new word, huba. Huba. I know in the Pyramid Lake area, they pronounce it with a P. Huba. Huba. But in the Shures area, it is huba. I have it spelled with the double B because it is a strong B sound. Huba. Huba. Which is distinguished from a softer B, which I will actually have an example of that later on. But for now, this is huba. Huba. That's just a conventional way of spelling it. You can spell it with a single B if you want. I mean, there's really currently no one right way of spelling it, but just for learning purposes, to understand that it is a strong B sound, that's why I spell it with the double B. Huba. Huba is soup. 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 Huba. Huba. Any kind of soup. All right, Rebecca, are you there? You're next.
Yes.
Ara kahubadika.
Suaiti.
Iya. Waitsi kahubadika. The old man is eating the soup. To wait kahubadika. Ara kanohodika.
Sutra ka noho dika.
Ja, so he. Suza kanohodika. The girl is eating the eggs. Iya. Iya. All right. Next. Celicia and Nick. Are you all there? Anome, Celicia, Nick no. Kayoit, Karu. Ain't there. All right. Maybe you're trying to work on your microphone. We'll move on to Thatch.
Okay, okay.
All right. Hagata no hopi dika.
Su Piowabi. Wait, which one?
You're right. Hagata no hopi dika.
Su Piowabi no ka no hopi tuka.
Ja, si hagaka hubadika. That's a boy.
Oh wait, sorry, I can't hear well. Maybe my volume's too low. Couldn't hear that you said something.
Hagaka hubadika.
Let me turn up my volume. Can you skip me for a second?
No. That's fine.
No, let me turn it up. Ugh. Okay, again, sorry.
Hagaka hubadika.
Sunana ka hubatuka.
Nazi hubadika.
Nazi.
Boy. Nazi hubadika. boy is eating the soup. Salisha, Nick, are you there? Nick just recently had some hip surgery. That's why they weren't here with us last week. So he's been recovering. I see their microphone status changed, but they're still not talking. So maybe trying to figure that out. But yeah, I hear he's been recovering. Usu pijamane is getting better, which is good. But continue to keep him in your prayers and good thoughts. All right, then we'll go on. Move on back up the list to Chrissy. Back to you. Looks like I got things. All right then. That was supposed. Never mind. All right. Chrissy, haraka papi deka.
Suarama ka papi deka.
Ja, suswadam na kapapi deka. The young woman is eating the papi, the pine mush. Is haraka no hodeka.
Su piawabi ka noho deka.
Ja. All right, another new term. This is definitely not a new term. I know for, I think all of us here, especially those of us who are agay from Shures, we know this word, agay. It is trout, agay. Two different ways of spelling it. You know, again, as I mentioned on the first day of class, we're kind of adopting the what's known as the Wycliffe spelling system. So the traditional Wycliffe spelling system spells it on the right side, agay, with the I. But on our official Walker River documentation, federally, it is spelled with the left side, agay. So I put them both here. So you're free to spell it however you want. Agay means trout. So Elaine, you're up. Are you there?
Yeah.
Haraka hubadika.
Sunana ka huwatka.
Good. Sunanaka hubadika. The man eating the soup. Haraka agaydika.
Sutswa ka akaitkara.
Yep. Little fun fact: the way that you answered that, you use that word "gudde." That actually is also like a good way of saying that it refers to someone who eats it often. It's like saying that girl eats agay often. She's someone who often eats agay. She does it, and it's something that she is used to. So agay. In other words, she's a agay eater. All right. Next is Mac. Back to you, Mac. Are you there?
Uh-huh.
Right. Haraka agaydika.
Nanasi, Rairika.
Yeah. Is this the same image, that same boy that you had on your last time? What are the twins?
Yeah.
Haraka papi dika.
Usu piawari or pizza. Okay. So piawari kapapirika.
Yeah, the old woman is eating the papi. Papi. All right. Maxine, back to you. One more before we learn our last food item. Maxine, are you there?
I pushed the video instead of the audio. Okay.
All right. Hara ka nohod ka.
I don't know who.
Hara ka nohod ka.
Oh, who is eating the bread? No. No, eggs. Okay. Su ka. That's right. Su nako I ka noho ka.
Sumarot ni ka nohod ka. The woman is eating the egg. Bija. Or you could also use suadama. She kind of looks like she could be a young woman too. So suadama ka nohod ka. Either one of those works. Ye shihara ka agait ka.
Su what? No, baby. Is that a baby?
Yeah, more like a baby.
Su su aga ka agay ka.
Ja su onga a ka agait ka. Su onga a ka agait ka. The baby eats the egg. I mean the fish. Yeah, and you know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, a baby, that word onga, I think definitely refers more to like an infant, like a more of a younger baby. But for our purposes here, a baby, that works. Yeah, so yeah, a girl would also work. Yeah. But our last one, I know that you guys are all already familiar with. Our last food is tuba, 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 which is the pine nut. Pine nut. And I purposely, as I mentioned before with the word for soup, remember huba had a double B that there, huba. Whereas this word for pine nut, tuba, tuba, it has a softer B sound, which is why I don't know if some of you guys notice like certain communities or some certain old documents, I notice they oftentimes spell it with like a V sound. And it's because this word can sometimes resemble more of that softer v, almost like a V sound. But it's more of like you're using both of your lips and you're kind of allowing them to vibrate. Duba, duba, duba. So it's softer. It's not a hard duba, especially because in our dialect from Walker River, duba with the harder B sound means your mouth. Duba, duba is your mouth. So duba, pine nut is more of a softer B sound. Duba, duba. That means pine nut. So next was Monica. Are you there?
Okay, you go then.
Oh yeah, Ponka. It's your turn. All right, Ponka. Hara ka nohopid ka.
Sun Joa no Hopi. No. Sun Joa Ka no Hopi Tuka.
Bija. And you know what? You were just about to say it about the ka, and technically, you don't have to say it. You don't have to include the ka. Like in Numa, it's okay if you omit it. You can say Sutsa'a no hopi de ka. Sutsa'a no hopi de ka. The girl eats or is eating the no hopi. That actually is fine. You don't always have to include the ka. It's kind of just automatically assumed if you say su no hopi, or excuse me, sutsa'a, and then she's eating, but what is she eating? It's whatever you say next. So you don't have to say ka, but you also can. Either one of them works fine. Both of them are natural. They make sense. So that's just a little extra information. So good job, Panka. Next, Panka, the last question is Haraka debarika. Haraka debarika.
是为之怎么？Wait, I keep want to say it with the car.
That's fine.
是为之卡怎么这个？
Ja, suwaitika debarika. Suwaitika debarika. The old man is eating. Good job. All right, I'm gonna go on straight to our next question since we don't have to spend too much time on tuba. I know you guys are familiar with that word. So this one is who is drinking the blank. So basically, same exact format, same exact template of who is eating the blank, but in this case, instead of the verb tuka, we're using hibi, which means to drink. Hibi. Agaka blank, hibi. Who is drinking the blank? And your answer is the same format as eating. Again, instead of drink, you replace, or excuse me, instead of eat, you replace that verb with hibi, to drink. So if I were to ask, hagakapa ahibi, hagakapa ahibi means who is drinking the water. Again, I'm sure you guys are already familiar with that word. Ba'a, water. Hagakapa ahibi, who is drinking the water. So if it is a girl, you would just say Sudza akapa ahibi. Sudza akapa ahibi. The girl is drinking the water. Okay. Again, it's the same of what we just been going through, but instead of the ga, we're using hibi. Hibi means to drink. Okay. All right. First word, sirupi. Sirupi means it's our traditional Numu tea. It's that plant, that tea, which I think, I don't remember what it's called in English. I think there's different words for it. Some of it is like Mormon tea, Indian tea, different terms like that. Sirupi. Some pronunciations you can hear it as surupi. Surupi. Instead of that E, it'll be a double O. Surupi. Surupi. And then some other dialects will be a TSU sound. Surupi. Surupi. Obviously, they all sound very, very similar. They all sound very similar, right? Sirupi, surupi, surupi. Sirupi, surupi, surupi. I just said all three of them right after another. They sound very similar. So either pronunciation, you guys are good. So this refers to the Indian tea, that traditional Indian tea. So let's see who is next. Who just answered? Was it Panka? I forget who I was just talking with.
Me.
Let's just go with Maxine. You there? All right then. Haga kapa ahibi.
Tua ka pa hibi.
Ja sutsa kaba ahibi. The girl is drinking the water. Yesh haga ka tsurupi hibi.
Su waiti ka surupi hibi.
Ja suwaiti ka tsurupi hibi. The old man is drinking the tsirupi, the tea, the Indian tea. Bija. All right, Rebecca, are you there? All right, haga ka tsirupi hibi.
Sunana Tasupi Hibi.
The man is drinking the sirupi, or This could also be a young man, which would be the word tuivitsi. Survivitsi.
Tuivi.
Young man drinking the tsipi. Yishihaga kaba hibi.
So I guess why itzy. Hibi.
Ichikawa hibi. Yeah, good job. All right. And one more slide on this one before we move on to our new drink will be Monica. Is Monica there, Blanca? Or did she leave? It's all right.
Yo.
All right, we'll go on and ask Salisha, you guys there? Salisha, Nick, are you back? Nope. All right, then Thatch. Moasu.
Okay.
All right, Haraka ba ahibi.
One more time, please.
Haraka ba ahibi.
Sunatsi kapa'a hibi.
Sunatsi rawa ahibi. The boy is drinking the water. Ja. Haraka tsidupi hibi.
Su piowabi ka supi hibi.
The old woman is drinking the tea. All right, next drink, next beverage. Again, another one I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with. Kopi. Kopi. Kopi means coffee. That is borrowed from English. That's a borrowed word from English. There is another word that I had learned from Harold Miller, which was bakosoba. Bakosoba for coffee. And the way he referred to that is that it means muddy water. Muddy water. Bakosoba. Bakosoba. Muddy water. So either kopi or bakosoba can refer to coffee. From a lot of what I've heard and also read from old like documentation or whatever, oftentimes people just use that kopi word. Kopi for coffee. Kopi. All right, then, Chrissy, back to you. Para ka ba ahibi?
Sunatsi kapahibi.
Ja. Isi haraka kobi ihibi.
Nu kakopihibi.
Are you really this late?
Hi.
Yeah, stay awake. All right then. Next, back to Elaine. Haraka kobi ihibi.
Suwaiti kakopi hibi.
Old man is drinking the coffee. So this one I actually had in mind as it looked like it could be coffee, but I had this in mind as the sirupi,
Oh, okay.
the old man. Whereas this is one of the,
Suwaiti katsidupi hibi.
versus haraka kopi ihibi.
Okay, so that one's coffee. Sumogotni ka kopi'i hibi.
Yeah, sumogot ni kakopi hibi. The woman drinking the coffee. Yeah, good job. Back to you. You don't have that little boy this time. You there? Haga ka kopi hibi.
Sunana ka kopi hibi.
Nga ka pa kosoba hibi. Haga ka pa hibi.
Sitsuarang ka pa hibi.
Ka pa hibi. Girl is drinking the water.
Sitsa.
Yeah. All right then. Much. Maxine, back to you. Maxine, you there?
Yes.
All right. Haraka tsirupi hibi.
Iwabi ka sirupi hibi.
Yeah, ka biawabi ka tsirupi hibi. The old woman is drinking the tea, the tsirupi. Is haraka pa hibi.
Sutua ka pa hibi.
Yeah. All right then. Let's blend together now the two questions that I've been asking. We got Panka. Panka, are you there?
Yeah.
Haraka barika.
Say it again.
Haraka dubadika. Duba. Haraka dubadika.
Suwaiti ka zaba tuka.
Ja. Shi haraka pa hibi.
Sunati pa ka pa. Wait. Sunati ka pa hibi.
Ja. Natsu pa hibi. Natsu pa hibi. The boy is drinking the water. Ja. Rebecca, back to you. Haraka hubadika. Haraka hubadika.
So, onga ka puha tika.
Hubadika. Hubadika. The baby is drinking or eating. Yes, haraka sirupi hivi. Haraka sirupi hivi.
Sumagot ni su sirupi hibi.
Bless you. Never just sneeze. Yeah, so mogon.
That was my grandson.
All right. Is it from your daughter or your son?
My grandson.
Is it your son's daughter or your son's son or your daughter's son?
My son's son.
Oh, your hutsiti. Your
Uh-huh.
quishin. So hutsiti quishin.
Duhuti.
Your he's sneezing. Yes. So sumubonit patsidupi.
Pusha.
The girl or the woman is drinking the tsidupi. Bija. All right then. Next, Salisha, Nick, trying one more time. Are you guys there?
Can you hear us?
Could you hear us?
Yes, now we can. You finally got it working.
Yo.
All right then. I'm gonna ask you guys all the slides now to make up for the last one. Agaka nohodika.
Yaga nohotika. Shu nohotika.
Yeah. Nohodika. She's the girl is eating eggs. Yes. Agaka kopi ihibi.
Shu nana hibi kopi.
Kopi.
Oh, kopi hibi.
Good job. It's Alicia's turn. Agaka agaidika.
Shu waitsi agaideka.
Waitsi agaidika. The old man is eating agai. Good job. Agaka papi. Agaka papi.
Shu waitsi.
This is your what it's yeah.
No, piawabi ka that one is papi deka.
Yeah. Yawan papi deka. The old woman is drinking papi. Yeah. All right, you guys got in just in time for the last one. That is
Oh.
good job. See you later. I'm gonna be here. If you guys have any questions, I'll be here. Otherwise, mabunidawa. See you all next time. Good job, everybody.
Bonita.
Mabunidawa.
Sister, the new one is Bishop Bonito, Bishop Togano.
How do you say young man?
Wibitsi.
Oh man, that's what is on my mind. I was like,
How do you spell it?
Let me put it in the chat.
Okay.
Wibitsi.
Okay.
Like in this case, this guy could be a young man right here.
Yeah.
A young man is.
And there's 4 E's in it.
Yeah, Duivitsi. That last E, final E, though, is one of those E's that can oftentimes be dropped or it's just whispered. Duivitsi. Duivitsi.
And young woman is
Shieram. See.
Yep.
See.
And there's different pronunciations on different dialects, but yeah, that's basically kind of how it is. Swarma.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bishop.
Oh.
Only you should know what.
Hey Josh. Hey, for Pokemon. For the Pokemon.
Yeah, my friend Thatch is here. He's the one who sent it to you. Gotta give the credit.
Okay.
Ooh.
Thank Thatch. Thank you, Thatch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, one sec.
Yippee. Oh, that's the cutest thing ever.
I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I work at a Pokemon store, and so had some
Oh.
stuff.
Can you give me more EXs?
Yeah.
The prize packs I had a slip in there, so shh. I'm glad you like them.